everyone. How are we doing tonight? Oh, great. Thank you so much for joining us for this evening's performance at the Millennium stage. We are so happy to have you. Please be advised that tonight's program does have some songs that have strong language and mature content in them, so just keep that in mind while you're joining us tonight. Now, here to introduce this evening's artist is the Director of Musical Theater for the ASCAP Foundation, Michael Kirker.
Thanks, Bobby. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. ASCAP, of course, is the songwriters organization, and this is actually our 7th year here at the Kennedy Center. And each night, we've been presenting some of the finest young songwriters of the American musical theater. Some of you might have been here when we first presented Stephen Lutbach, who would go on to write the Tony Award-winning musical Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Or perhaps you were here when we presented Justin Paul and Benj Pasek, who are about to have a new Broadway opening next week, Dear Evan Hansen. Well, tonight you'll be meeting another extremely gifted songwriter from the American musical theater. Chicago Shakespeare has produced 3 of his musicals, The Emperor's New Clothes, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and How Can You Run with a Shell on Your Back? He's also been writer-in-residence at the Johnny Mercer Foundation at Northwestern University, at Goodspeed Opera, and at Weston Playhouse. Please welcome Alan Schmuckler.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Michael, thank you. ASCAP, thank you. Kennedy Center, thanks so much for having me. It's a wonderful time to be gay in America. They hate us much less than they did. We do what we wanna, like still play Madonna, only now to our kid. It's a breathtaking time to be gay in America. Walking down roads we don't know. How do we live? Where do we give? When do we grow? Making it up as we go. We're making it up as we go. On our first day of class, I thought, God bless America. I finally found someone I trust, who speaks with conviction and fabulous diction, as great teachers must. Do you not understand that it's rare in America to find men who just make you glow? I'm often perplexed, I can't see what's next, but on with the show. Making it up as we go. Let's make it all up as we go. Take me to countries I've never seen. Show me the cultures, old, rich, and rare. And when I falter, you'll still be there. No rule, no plan. With you, I know I can. Speaking plain, I am scared 'cause I live in America, where shit's getting worse every year. The rivers stop running, the gun nuts keep gunning. It's hard to be here. But with you holding me, we'll get by in America, finding our own kind of flow. I want you so there. It's clear that you care, so start with hello. And make it all up as you go. We'll make it all up as we go. I love you, what more can I know? Thank you very much. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks again for having me. May I just say that however you happen to be feeling tonight, and whatever your opinions may or may not be, I and the two very gifted performers and friends who I have here with me to perform tonight, we all feel very fortunate that we get to make some music in Washington, D.C. tonight. So thanks so much for having us. We're going to share some songs from a couple of shows of mine that either have been written or are in the process of being written. So let's get right to it. To do the first one, I'm going to introduce a good friend of mine named Renee Albulario. Renee, could you come on out here and could we all give her a nice warm welcome and round of applause? Thanks. So for this, what can I tell you about this first show? You know, people talk about going to the theater to escape, right? Theater is a form of, among other things, escapism. We can kind of get away from our lives and imagine we're somewhere else. So we take you now to the happiest place on earth, Russia. The name of the show is, the full title of the show is Nothing to See Here, is musical story of blind girl looking for love in post-Soviet Russia. We're essentially going to show you like the first two songs of the show. Renee's going to be our titular character, Ellie. I'm going to be kind of everyone else from the piano, and I'm going to give you some stage directions too to kind of paint a picture for you. So without further ado, think of When Harry Met Sally, think of Notting Hill, and then pickle them in vodka. We're in a 737 airplane at night, flying 38,000 feet over England. Ellie, a perpetually optimistic British woman, sits next to her husband, Mark, a smart-looking, very polite academic. Ellie wears fun plastic sunglasses. She sits in the window seat with her white cane leaning against the side of the plane. Oh, right, Ellie's blind. Mark sits in the aisle, empty seat between them. Her focus is out the window.
All the people I know are kind. All the people I know are kind. All the people I know have a kind of glow. All the people I know are kind. All the people I meet are kind. All the people I meet are kind. All the people I meet in the bustling street. All the people I meet are kind. Though the people who pass haven't got much class and are quick to look right through me. Let them shuffle right by, I can only sigh. Oh, but if they only knew me. All the people I'm sure are kind. All the people I'm sure are kind. All the people, they just need an ounce of trust. All the people I know are kind.
Listen, I gave myself 2 years.
What?
2 years.
What are you talking about?
Us. I didn't tell you that, of course, but I gave myself 2 years, and today's been about 2 years, and it's not working for me. I like being your husband, I like being your friend, but I can't live with you anymore.
All the people I feel are kind. All the people I feel are kind. All the people I feel make a world that's real. All the people I feel are kind.
You have trust issues.
Everybody, I'm sure, whether rich or poor, has a day or year that's cruddy. But they never do mean to be too obscene, so I trust in everybody.
Yes, that's my point. You're too trusting.
Okay, if you say I'm too trusting, I believe you.
That's my point.
Oh, I like how you proved that. What else?
You're kind to a fault. When you should be upset, you somehow become twice as nice.
Am I doing that now?
Yes.
Well, I appreciate your honesty and I accept your criticism. The entire UK
The entire UK is
kind.
The entire UK is
The entire
kind.
UK, though it's cold and grey, the entire UK is kind. Every millennial chap on the Queen Mum's map, as he sips his pint of bitter, keeps a soul in his heart, or at least a start for a Brit. Is not a quitter.
Even when he's in the shitter.
That's absolutely right. We are not having this fight.
All the people on earth are kind. All the people on earth are kind. All the people on earth think of what they're worth. All the people on earth are. I don't like being your caretaker, and I fear that's where this is headed.
All the people I know.
Yes, this makes me a horrible person.
All the people I know are.
But after a few years, once you're remarried, I won't be a horrible person. I'll just be a funny memory you had in your late 20s. You'll name your dog after me. Airplane passengers. All the people I know are kind. All the people I know are kind.
Mark!
I'm serious! There's a loud bang from the engine. The plane begins to dive rapidly. All the people I see are kind. All the people I see are kind. The beverage cart slides down the aisle.
Mark!
It'll be fine! Mark gets sucked out the window.
Mark!
All the people I know in the ice and snow.
All the people I know are... Since I can't see, sometimes when I picture things, it's less what really happened and more what felt like really happened. Mark!
Ellie grips her armrest, the plane inverts, we ramp into slow motion, the overhead bins empty, oxygen masks fall. Ellie stretches out her arm as the world around her transitions to an English cottage. Ellie, arm outstretched, looks out the open door to her cozy countryside home. Mark has just left her.
Mark!
We hear Mark's car start. I'm really, really sorry! He drives away. Music continues under as time passes. Ellie in her kitchen, depressed, calmly spreads jam on toast while the entirety of her house burns behind her in bright orange flames. Her cat walks by, also on fire. Ellie brushes her teeth as a tank drives through one side of her house and out the other. She spits. Ellie sits in the corner as it pours rain inside her house.
Outside confuses me. Outside my head, I've tried, it bruises me. I've bled. Outside abuses me. And so instead, there's inside in my mind, inside of me, inside is the perfect guide of me. Inside, I can dream and wonder, and it holds me, daydream. And you stand there wide awake, plan scheme, but you never start to shake. Darkness, but the world inside of you will glow. Outside, I guess. Inside, I know.
Ellie's friend Petra pulls various items off of shelves and calls them out to Ellie. Some sort of onyx Welshman?
Marks.
Petra throws the statue in a box labeled Mark and grabs another item off the shelf. Vinyl record collection. Marks, right?
Let's say trash.
Petra shrugs, dumps them in the trash.
Inside is the ideal place for me. Inside, I have made a space for me. Inside, where a sense of dignity can grow. Outside, I'm lost. Inside, I no longer wait for a boy who's great. I imagine suitors by the score, day after day, dreaming away. God knows I wonder, could there be more?
Petra pulls a book off the shelf. Anna Karenina.
Marks.
Petra goes to throw it in the box.
Oh, no, wait. That's me.
Petra stops and hands the book to Ellie. Ellie opens the book and feels the pages.
Inside, I'm locked away. Inside my mind. Inside, I'm socked away, resigned. Inside, I'm blocked away, but I could find.
The rain stops. Ellie slides Petra over a stuffed envelope full of train tickets.
London to Brussels, Brussels to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Warsaw, Warsaw to Minsk, Minsk to St. Petersburg. It only takes 46 hours by train.
Have you gone bloody mental?
I need to get out of here.
I understand that.
I've traveled before.
No, you haven't.
I went with you and Danny up to Edinburgh.
We drove you, and this isn't Scotland, this is Russia.
I know. Doesn't it sound magnificent? The art, the people, the romance. Tolstoy.
Did you meet someone?
What? No, nothing like that.
Well, at least let me come with you.
No. I need to do this alone.
Petra starts to say something, then spots her luggage by the door. Wait, are you leaving today?
I'm leaving in 6 hours.
Okay, listen, Ellie, I know you're in a bizarre emotional state right now. I get it. I do. Just promise me you'll take a second and think this through.
Outside, in the great wide wilderness, outside, where the rain comes down to bless, outside, where the girl I was is promptly fading, crusading. You wait, in a land I've dreamed about, you wait, and erase all shreds of doubt, you wait, and I'll join you soon as I arrive. Inside, I'm stressed, mucked up and messed, but out there with you, see what could go wrong.
So, we'll see Renee again in a second. Thanks. So, Ellie's heading to Russia, to St. Petersburg specifically, because she's met somebody online. Now, why is she going to Russia? Here's what we learn in a couple of pages. When Ellie was 16, she got halfway through reading Anna Karenina and then went blind. So she's heading to St. Petersburg because she believes that Russia is the land where dreams come true and true love exists, because she never finished Anna Karenina. She doesn't know that at the end of Anna Karenina, Anna throws herself in front of a train. But Ellie doesn't know that, so she's going because she's going to meet her Vronsky. She's going to meet her man on a horse to whisk her away to the Russian oligarchical countryside and live happily ever after. Now, she's going there to meet her Vronsky. Instead, she meets Alan, a nebbish, neurotic, Jewish-American foreign exchange student who's there studying the Russian masters, the Russian composition masters. He's studying piano. And of course, Ellie is blind and sees the best in everything. And Alan has his sight, but there's nothing to see here. And Russia is just, St. Petersburg is the worst, and the trains go both ways on the same side of the train. The sun is up for 23 hours a day, and all the pastries on the street have cabbage in them, and it's the worst. And so she's, of course, the optimist, and he's the pessimist. And they meet cute, of course. And she believes in fate because she has to, right? Because when you lose your sight when you're 16, you kind of have to believe that everything happens for a reason. And Alan, of course, is a total pessimist and a cynic and a realist and is convinced that she's getting catfished. And through complex plot machinations, they end up going on a kind of makeshift date. They end up wandering St. Petersburg, and the sun is up the whole time, even though it's night. And finally, the sun does start to set, and even though Alan is such a cynic and doesn't believe in any of it, doesn't believe in fate, everything is chance, the streetlights just happen to turn off at just the right time, and turn on, rather, at just the right time for them, and they happen to find just the right amount of change on the side of the road to get the flavor of ice cream that Ellie likes, and they end up riding back from their makeshift date back to the hotel in the same cab that Ellie happened to arrive in St. Petersburg with. Of course, Alan doesn't know that, and Ellie, it's about 4:30 in the morning, and Ellie's asleep on his shoulder, and the cab driver asks, what's going on? And Alan responds. I pride myself on intellect. I've gotten where I've gotten with my brain. And when I feel too anxious, I explain the motion of a tune, complexity of shape, the color of the moon. I've gotten by on intellect. But frankly, the appeal begins to wane when faced with something more, a thing that I prefer. Something that's simple, foolish and simple, falling for her. She doesn't care what people think. She walks around and smiles just because. May I admit that fucking gives me pause. How is she always kind? How is she always sweet? It isn't 'cause she's blind. She's just as she's supposed to be. And me, I mean, I'm nothing but my flaws. How quick I am to judge, self-monitor and slur. I fear them, I fight them. How am I, despite them, falling for her? Her glasses, her umbrella, and her nose. The way when she's upset, how clear it shows. She makes it seem so pat. How can I be like that? I'll never be. Which leaves me with me. I do not like my intellect. On average, it's more trouble than it's worth. The meek shall overcomplicate the earth. We build ourselves a room of practicing and care. In other words, a tomb. She doesn't mind my intellect. She's sleeping with her head upon my shoulder. I always feel crappy. How is it? I'm happy. Falling for Ellie. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. To give credit where credit is due, my collaborator on that show and, excuse me, on the show you're about to hear a bunch from, the mastermind behind me with this, is a brilliant book writer and dear friend named Dave Holstein, who I went to school with and who I've been collaborating with, writing with for more than a decade now since we went to school together. He lives in LA. I wish he could be here tonight. I think he's probably watching right now. Hi, Dave. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, applaud for Dave. Dave, they're applauding for you. And they laughed at your jokes earlier, too, so that's awesome. So thank you. Dave and I have a bunch of projects in the works, and to share another one with you, I welcome back Renee Abelario and my other fabulous, talented friend, Greg Hildreth. Would you please welcome them both on stage at present? Thank you so much. Here they come, they're coming on the stage. Here's Renee and also that guy's Greg. So this next show, the next couple of songs, we're doing a little bit of a true crime musical. It's about a murder. In fact, it's about a murder that took place just kind of up the street a little bit in Baltimore. 17 years ago now. 15 years ago. For those of you who listened to the Serial podcast on NPR, when it aired, the first season of the Serial podcast, Sarah Koenig, Ira Glass, Adnan Syed, Heyman Lee, if these names ring a bell, if they sound familiar, you will extra appreciate the next couple of songs. If you don't, if you haven't listened, that's all good. I hope you like shows about murder. And the media. So, again, escapism. I was a young reporter and broke in Baltimore. I tried to cope and lived on hope and ramen from the store. I needed one big story, a scoop to make my mark. I looked and then I found one in a place called Leakin Park. Where were you 15 years ago? Can you see yourself through all the ice and snow? Thoughts get blurry, memories murky. Farther back you wander. There was once a kid who killed his girlfriend dead. Dropped her in the woods. His name's Adnan Syed. High school senior, prom prince, track star, swears he did not do it. And they would study hard, and they were holding hands, and they were young and so naive and so deluded. He says he's innocent, says no one understands, although you wonder if he didn't do it, who did? So, that's a slightly fictionalized version of NPR's Sarah Koenig. Don't tell her we're doing this. It's okay, I think she maybe knows. Maybe. So this is all a true story. Adnan Syed was convicted of a murder 15 years ago in 2014 and has been sitting in jail ever since. Sarah Koenig, reporter for This American Life, investigates the story, launches the podcast Serial, becomes the most widely downloaded podcast in podcast history, millions and millions and millions of listens, and all of America pays attention. Adnan is locked away, and his hope hangs on, and this is true, one letter written by one friend all those years ago, a girl back then named Asia McLean. This is her letter.
Dear Adnan, hope I spelled it right. I know that you can't see visitors, so I decided to write you a letter. I'm not sure if you remember seeing me in the library, but I remember waving to you. From all your actions that day, I have reason to believe in your innocence. I wrote to your family first to discuss your calm manner with them. I also called the Woodlawn Public Library to see if they had a surveillance system inside the building. Depending on the amount of time you spent inside the library that afternoon, it might help in your defense. This whole thing makes no sense. I wish you could look into my eyes and tell me of your innocence. If I ever find out otherwise, I will hunt you down and whip your ass. I will hunt you down and whip your ass. I will hunt you down and whip your ass.
you. In our version of the events, our Sarah in 1998 is a fledgling reporter for the Baltimore Sun. This is true, P.S. She actually was there at the time. Ours is surviving on, as we said, ramen noodles and hope, and is desperate for a big story, and is a woman in a man's world, which is endlessly frustrating, and just needs that one story, right, that's going to take her over the top. And then the voices in her head say to her, you know, Sarah, we can actually help you with this. This is a song called This Is America.
How badly do you want to be a journalist?
How badly do you want to taste success?
How badly do you want them calling you savant? You only have to make a little mess. Oh, this is how the world works, Sarah. This is how it goes. Someone's leading someone by the nose, I suppose. Take a breath, but then take action. If you don't, someone will. This is America, and in America, what do? We kill.
I betcha all the papers will be quoting you.
Oh, can't you hear them clamor for your time?
They'll gather round to hear Reporter of the Year, the one who drew attention to the crime.
Oh, this is how the world works, Sarah. Someone has to score. Someone gets, but someone else gets more. And what for? Exactly, aren't you deserving, Sarah? You should take your fill. This is America, God bless America. What do? We swallow down the part of us that's miserable. We swallow down the part of us that hurts. We take a deeper breath and cause a person's death and wipe away the blood that comes in spurts. 'Cause this is how the world works, people. This is how it turns. Someone fiddles, meanwhile someone burns. Hallelujah, she learns. All it takes is taking action. The country needs a thrill. Kill for America. I love America. What are you gonna do, Sarah?
From time to time you hear them. They tell you what to do. They sound like mom or dad or someone else who you once knew. But though they seem convincing, they only lead to dread. So please pay no attention to the voices in your head.
They're only out to hurt you. They make you feel ashamed. They stoke your coals and twist your goals till your insides are inflamed. And then you're in their power. And then you've made your bed. You must ignore the siren of the voices in your head.
And if they start to argue, you argue them right back. You say, I hear you, thank you, but please do not attack. And if that tack proves useless and all they do is yell, our modern age has blessed us with a tool that works quite well. You take your friendly earbuds and place them in your ears. And so you smile and start to while away your months and years. In time you'll hear the silence of the peaceful and the dead.
I'll always be here with you as the voices in your head. A charming girl was killed, an innocent a minor.
I could listen to that.
To look for DNA, they checked her panty liner.
I could listen to that.
The perpetrator's Muslim, and while that doesn't matter, it only serves to amplify the Reddit chatter. The facts are very vague, the speculation's rampant, but still and all the host remains undampened. She finds a grieving relative and has a friendly chat.
I could listen to that.
He took her to the woods, he strangled her barehanded.
I could listen to that.
He murdered her, I'm sure, he dreamed it up, he planned it.
I could listen to that.
Oh, I could listen to that. You hear it in his pauses, his oddly picked expressions. His stalling stammers might as well be more confessions.
And on we hope, as on and on they jail him, that one day Sarah Koenig's gonna nail him.
Unless, of course, he's innocent.
You think he is? Ah, drat. I could listen to that. Every day I check my phone, check my phone, check my phone. Every day I'm all alone. No new podcast. I wait and wait and wait some more. Growing pissed, growing sore. And then I look and fucking score. A brand new episode, a murder a la mode. Brand new facts and contradictions. Straight-faced liars dropping fictions. Diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he, diddy, didn't-he.
I don't care, I'm fine.
I don't care, I'm fine. As long as something's gory.
I could listen to that.
I could listen to
Oh,
that.
I could listen to that.
I could listen to that.
People may
The
be
people
real,
may be
but paint
real,
them like
but
a story.
paint them like a story.
I could listen to that.
I could listen to
Oh,
that.
I could listen to
Oh,
that.
I could listen. Tell everything about them, especially if it's private. The truth is that they're public figures. They'll survive it.
Just open up this app, SERIAL search. In no time you'll be hooked. You'll join the Mademoiselle search.
It brings a country closer to share a joint obsession with high school romance going sour, strangulation, drugs, and power, bright young lives destroyed in detail, older boyfriends working retail, grieving friends and mass confusion, analyzing each contusion, shame and fear and lots of crying, long as it's not me who's dying. I could listen to that. Oh, I could listen to that. I could listen to that. Oh, I could listen to that. I could listen to that. Oh, I could listen to that. I could listen to that. Oh, I could listen to that. One more. When I die, let me lie underneath the ice and snow. Say no prayers, oh, light me no candles. Let me go, let me go, let let me go. Do not cry, do not cry. Rather try to go on as the best you know. Make new friends and loves and forget me. Let me go, let me go, let me go. If you hold on to my memory, you will only bring me pain. And my loved ones who knew me more than you will relive my death again and again. Say goodbye, say goodbye. Asking why isn't really apropos, for in time you too will be with me. Down below, down below, down below. So let me go, let me go, let me go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Woo! Thank you. But wait, you're asking, surely there's more of this musical that I've just heard these 15,000 songs from. There is, and we've actually released it as a podcast. In one of the cooler things that's happened, to me at least so far, this thing that we wrote as a musical that was adapted from a podcast has now been adapted back into a podcast, like a podcast cast/album situation. It's being produced by a wonderful audio media digital fabulous company called Wondery. You can go to Wondery.com to check out the podcast called Secrets, Crimes, and Audio Tape. And all of our show, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, is called Wait, Wait, Don't Kill Me. How did I not lead with that? It's called Wait, Wait, Don't Kill Me, you guys. Episode 1 released last week. Episode 2 drops in about 12 hours. We've got 5 episodes total. You will never guess. I mean, you can tell already. It's pretty bananas. But it's really cool. Renee and Greg are both in it. We've got a fabulous, top-flight Broadway cast singing it. Full orchestrations, big old podcast episodes, but it's also like a cast album. It's super weird. Dave and I and all of us involved are super proud of it. And we hope you will go to Wondery.com and check it out, or just search for Wait, Wait, Don't Kill Me or Secrets, Crimes, and Audio Tape on iTunes. Yeah. Moving right along, I'm fortunate as a writer in that I get to collaborate with a couple of really cool people, one of whom is a fabulous composer, lyricist, and singer-songwriter named Michael Mahler. He and I write a lot of stuff myself. He and I write stuff together, too. I wanted to share a song from a show that he and I are writing together. We're doing an adaptation of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, now for something completely different than murder and podcasts. Greg Heffley it's his first day. He's in middle school, and he is the titular wimpy kid of the title. He's kind of scrawny and kind of a scoliosis-y, and has big dreams and big plans, and does not for the life of him understand why the world isn't bending over backwards to give him everything he wants. He's 11. But, he meanwhile cowers in the hallways while the big kids who have already gone through puberty beat up on everyone else. It's a fabulous book series by Jeff Kinney. So late in the second act, I'm going to share one song from Diary of a Wimpy Kid with you guys. Late in the second act, Greg, who's been scrabbling to get to the top of the popularity meter since the curtain comes up and is further away than ever, has had a falling out with his best friend and maybe kind of only friend, Rowley. And to show Rowley that he doesn't need him, he decides he's going to go, and Greg is going to go schedule a sleepover with a kid named Fregley, who is if the floor is like the lowest of popularity. Fregley's like 2 sub-basements down. Fregley's a very odd kid, and I'm sure he means well, but he's super weird. But Greg knocks on Fregley's door and tries to schedule a sleepover to show his friend Rowley that it's okay, I don't need you, Rowley. I've got Fregley. It's fine. And Fregley opens the door and sees Greg standing there. And Greg says, let's have a sleepover. Fregley says, would you like to come inside? Greg, would you like to come indoors? There are paintings in the halls. There are cobwebs on the walls. Did I mention there are floors? From the moment you're inside, Greg, then the party has begun. See, the door is open wide, so I hope you come inside. That'd be fun. Greg comes in. Would you like to meet my mom? Greg, she's the best at giving hugs. She's so glad I finally found someone warm to have around. All my other friends are bugs. Here's a friendly salutation from a mother and her son. Won't you please enjoy our place? Only stay out of the basement. That'd be fun. Wanna see my room or pick at my blisters? I haven't got sisters, just a long brown wig. And when I feel gloom, there's not much to do here. But now I've got you here for an entire night with me. Wanna have a tickle fight? Greg, that's a favorite Fregley perk. We could play some video games, oh, except my mother claims video gaming makes me overly aggressive and berserk. Here's ventriloquism dolls. Greg, oh, there's a ninja, there's a nun. How about that tickle fight? It's okay, I do not bite. Sometimes I bite. That'd be fun. I get lonely at school, 'cause nobody likes me. Oh, loneliness strikes me, but I shrug no big. Oh, Greg, me and you'll be best friends for always, at home and in hallways, for an eternity. Are those jelly beans? My mom won't let me have sugar because it makes me go hyperactive. But I think it just makes me a little sweeter inside. Oh, Greg. Oh, that hits the spot. Oh, we should have a tickle fight. Greg, tickle battle to survive. Am I acting like you feared? Am I getting extra weird? Oh, I finally feel alive. Now we'll always be together. I'm your fanboy number 1. Would you listen to my plea? Would you tickle fight with me? Tickle, tickle, tickle G. Tickle, tickle, tickle we. Tickle, tickle, tickle spree. Tickle, tickle, tickle me. That'd be fun. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's try every Wimpy Kid. We just got 1 or 2 more for you, and then we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much. I moved to New York. I'm from the East Coast originally, but I moved back to New York from being in Chicago, which I loved and had a wonderful time in, and have been made lifelong friends in. I moved back to New York a couple years ago, and for those of you who, like me, have made a move at some point in your lives, you know that in addition to the physical dislocation, there's also a kind of like a karmic dislocation that happens, you know, which is kind of the point, right? Sometimes it's the point. It was the point for me, at least. I wanted to move because I wanted a change, and I wanted to change. And I think both of those things ultimately happened or are in the process of happening. But anyway, not long after I moved to New York, like many people, I think, who moved to New York, I had some time on my hands. I didn't have a lot of work. I didn't really know what was going on. And I heard some great writing advice, which is if you want to be a writer, you got to write every single day. So I started writing something every single day. A little bit of music, a little bit of lyric. This is one of the songs I wrote during that first period. We don't need the sunshine or walking down the lane. Meet me in the rain, love. Meet me in the rain. We don't need the treetops. We don't need to soar. Meet me on the floor, child. Meet me on the floor. I'll be waiting in the rain, love. Meet me in the rain. Soak my shoes, slick my hair. Please fog up my glasses. I will lose, you will care, and we will say goodbye. We're not gonna make it love, but we can try. I don't need you perfect. Show me every stain. Oh, that's the point of rain, love. Meet me in the rain. Can't you hear me giggle? I hear you guffaw. Oh, love's a higher law, love. Love's a higher law. We'll be kinder in the rain, love. Would you meet me in the rain? We won't need paradise. We'll be far from heaven. Oh, there without our paradise. I think we might find something that might almost resemble peace of mind. Grant me no forgiveness, no. I don't need your charms. Oh, wrap me in no arms, love. Just meet me in the rain. So much life has happened, so much down the drain. How can I explain, love, why I cause you pain? Well, meet me in the rain, friend. Meet me in the rain. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. We got one more. It's really an honor. I know I can speak on behalf of Greg and Renee. It's really an honor to be here sharing my music, sharing our work with all of you. It is so flattering. Look at how many of you there are out here on a Monday night in November. That's awesome. Hi. Hello. And the untold legions watching on the internet. Thank you, legions, and thank you, internet. And thank you, folks manning the cameras. I appreciate it. And Dave on sound, thank you so much. Michael Kirker at ASCAP, thank you so much. Everyone here at the Kennedy Center. We were just talking before we came out here. Who gets to do this? This is so cool. We really are grateful for it, the chance to say something and share some work. So thanks for joining us. Here's one more. It's a song called Tuscany. And it's, take it, given everything that is happening in our country and in the world, just take it as a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of hope or something. Here's Greg.
I myself, I pray for a better world, a world where there will be no such thing as unrequited love and pain and suffering, and women can return the love of any man, where people live in peace, where the whole world will be like Tuscany. azure and russet, amber and white, cotton and muslin and linen and light, cypress and chestnut, orchid and rose. Everything blossoms and everything grows. We'll make our own wine fresh from the vineyard, our own oil fresh from the tree, our own life cleared of our sin in Tuscany. In flow the seasons, out goes the tide. Ring round the rosy, and here comes the bride. Penne for dinner, pear for dessert. No one goes hungry, 'cause no one gets hurt. We'll have our own bread hot from the oven, our own fish fresh from the sea, our own life sensible thin in Tuscany. We will laugh and cry and tell our finest stories. If the tales we weave are make-believe, so what? We will make a friend of summer's endless glories and ignore the fall so long as all the doors are tightly shut. See how we prosper, see how we shop, see our gelato has cherries on top. Lovers make lovers, nobody stares. Nobody's perfect, so nobody cares. We'll build our own walls, safe with each other, our own rules setting us free, our own lives, may they begin in Tuscany.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you. Give it up, please, for Renee Abulario and Greg Hildreth. Yeah, take a bow. Go for it, guys. Or they're standing. That's fine, too. Yeah, they can bow. Whatever they like. Thank you. Thanks very, very much. Have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving.